If you've got asthma or COPD, you know that your inhaler is pretty much a lifeline, right? But what if I told you that a super simple, common mistake could be stopping it from actually working the way it should? Today, we're going to talk about something that's, well, it's often overlooked, but it's so important: your inhaler technique. It might just be the one thing standing between you and breathing a whole lot better.
So let me just ask you, straight up, are you positive you're using your inhaler the right way? I mean, really think about it for a second. The answer might surprise you. And hey, if you're not 100% sure, you're in good company. You are definitely not alone. Okay, let's get into the numbers because this is pretty wild. Research out of Australia shows that a whopping 90%, yeah, you heard that right, 9 out of every 10 people with asthma or COPD are not using their inhalers correctly. This isn't just a tiny error here and there. We're talking about a massive, hidden health issue. And that crazy number brings us right to our first big point. Before we go any further, I really want to make this clear. If you're thinking, oh no, that might be me, it's okay. It is not just you. This is an unbelievably common problem. And what's really eye-opening is just how many people this affects. It seriously doesn't matter if you're a kid or an adult. It doesn't matter if you just got diagnosed or if you've been using an inhaler for like 20 years. Even people who have to juggle a few different kinds of devices get tripped up. Basically, using them wrong is common, everywhere, for everyone. And this right here gets to the heart of it. There's this huge gap between how we think we're doing and what's actually happening. Get this. One study found that 75% of people were like, yep, my technique is perfect. But when they were actually checked, only 10%, just 10%, were doing it right. You see? That's why just assuming you've got it down isn't good enough. So you might be thinking, okay, if almost everyone's doing it wrong, what's the big deal? Well, this is where it gets serious. We're not talking about small mistakes with no consequences. The stakes here are incredibly high. So here's the bottom line. When your technique is off, the medicine just doesn't get to where it needs to be. It can't reach deep into your lungs. And that causes a domino effect, right? It leads to your symptoms not being controlled, a higher risk of side effects like oral thrush, and then you find yourself reaching for that reliever inhaler more and more. And the worst case scenario, it can trigger a really severe flare-up. But look, if there is one number from all of this that you remember, let it be this one. Poor technique is directly linked to a 50% increased risk of ending up in the hospital. Just let that sink in for a second. Getting this right isn't some tiny detail. It's absolutely critical for staying healthy and, frankly, staying out of the emergency room. Okay, after hearing all that, I wouldn't be surprised if you're feeling a little overwhelmed. But I really need to say this. There's a good reason this is so tough, and it is 100% not your fault. A huge part of the problem is the devices themselves. They're complicated. Let's just put it out there. No inhaler is foolproof, not a single one. Every single design has steps that are easy to miss, and that's what leads to mistakes. I mean, just think about it for a sec. There are so many different kinds of inhalers out there. You've got your puffers, your turbohalers, your elliptas. The list just goes on and on. And guess what? Each one has its own unique, different set of instructions. So if your doctor switches your brand or you have to use more than one type, well, it's just so easy to get confused and mess up a step. And that's exactly why getting that professional one-on-one guidance is so important. You can't be expected to become an expert on these tricky medical devices just by reading a little piece of paper. So how do you get it right? Okay, so we've laid out the problem, we know why it's so tricky, but now for the good news, there is a fix. Let's talk about the single most powerful thing you can do to get your technique right, and that's the power of a physical demonstration. And here's the key thing to understand. Just reading the instructions or having someone tell you what to do, it's not enough. It just isn't. Study after study shows the same thing. The most effective way to learn is to have a health professional, a doctor, a pharmacist, physically show you, step by step, how to use your exact device. So what does that actually look like? Well, we can break it down into 4 really simple but powerful steps. Okay, number 1, assess. Next time you're at the doctor or pharmacy, ask them to literally just watch you use your inhaler. Number 2, demonstrate. Get them to show you the right way to do it. Third, check. Ask if they have a checklist for your specific device that you can take home. It's a great reminder. And finally, number 4, repeat. And this is a big one. This isn't a one-and-done kind of thing. You can actually forget the right skills in just a couple of months. So make it a habit. Get your technique rechecked regularly. Okay, so let's bring it all home. What does this all mean for you right now? This is all about empowerment. It's about you taking back control of your health, starting with your very next breath. When you boil it all down, it's pretty simple, isn't it? Taking just a few minutes to talk with a professional and really nail down your inhaler technique, it is one of the easiest, most impactful things you can do for your health. And the payoff? It's huge. We're talking about a dramatic improvement in your symptoms, and with that, your whole quality of life.
And hey, you don't even have to wait for your next appointment to get started on this. The National Asthma Council of Australia has some absolutely fantastic resources on their website, including video demonstrations for pretty much all the common inhalers. You can check them out at nationalasthma.org.au.
So I'll just leave you with this last thought. When you're managing a long-term condition, it can all feel so complicated. But what if? What if breathing better is just one simple conversation away? Go on. Ask your doctor. Ask your pharmacist. It's such a small step, but it could truly make a world of difference.